I have explained about asexual reproduction in living organisms. Today I am explaining vegetative propagation. Now propagation means the word comes from propagule, means part, and vegetative means plant. So plant parts. So the reproduction that occurs by the parts of a plant is called vegetative propagation. Now vegetative propagation are also an asexual reproduction, because in this reproduction no gametes are required. Okay, no gametes are required in vegetative propagation. So what is required? Required only in vegetative propagation, only required buds. Okay, buds are only required for vegetative propagation. So the propagation, the word comes from propagule means part, and vegetative, the word comes from plant. So the reproduction that occurs by the part of some plant, that is called vegetative propagation. It is also an asexual reproduction, because no gametes are required and only required buds. Now what are buds? Buds, you know, you read in your class 9 and 10 that buds are composite shoots. So what are buds? Buds are composite shoots. Okay. Now, so vegetative reproduction occurs through buds, and it occurs by the division of meristems, meristematic tissue. This vegetative reproduction occurs through meristems. Now, parts of vegetative reproduction. Before discussing the types of vegetative reproduction, I'd like to explain the advantages. What are the advantages? Advantages number 1. Same type or variety of plants are produced. Okay, number 1 point. So here the word clone is very much applicable, because the plants that we get through vegetative propagation is totally similar to its parent. Now same type, and there if as we take the same variety, so we choose the right type of plant, or we choose the plant as we like, so they are disease proof. Because we choose a right plant, we choose a fresh plant part, so there no virus or bacteria can attack. Okay, these are the two main advantages. Clone, same type of plant variety, and they are disease proof. But there are also some disadvantages. Now what are the disadvantages? Disadvantages. Number 1, no variety. You can't get any variety of plant, same variety of plant you can get. And number 2, they cannot resist or they cannot adapt themselves according to the changeable condition. They are not adapted. They can't adapt. They can't adapt themselves according to the changeable environment. Okay, so these are the two main disadvantages. Variety occurs and they can't adapt themselves according to the changeable environment. Now, types of vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation types. Number 1, by stems. By stems. By stems. Number 1, A, underground stems, and number B, subaerial stems. Subaerial stems. Underground means the stems that grow underground. They grow underground to store some foods like potato and onion and ginger. And subaerial, the word subaerial means horizontally to the ground and free in the air. Okay, so these types of vegetative propagation occurs through stems are of two types: underground through underground stems and through subaerial stems. Number 2, by roots. Number 3, by leaves. Number 4, by bulbils. Stems, roots, leaves, bulbils. These are the types, and these all are natural vegetative reproduction. And subaerial stems. Okay. Now, natural vegetative propagation through underground stems. Number A is tuber. You know what is tuber? This is tuber. The example is potato. You see, there are sprouts, and if you see a potato very closely, you can see some eye-like structure here. This is called eye of a potato. And from this eye, there is bud. There are buds. They are axillary buds, and these eye portions are nodes of a potato, because potato is a underground stem. And you see these buds sprout, and if we cut this portion and keep it in the soil, from this part a new potato plant will grow. So from a single potato you can grow so many potatoes. So the example of tuber is potato. Now the next example is rhizome. You know rhizome. What is rhizome? Rhizome is ginger. Okay. Rhizome is also a condensed stem. It is fleshy stem because it stores food. What type of food? Starch. And you see that in rhizome portion there are prominent nodes. These are all nodes, and these nodes have bud, and from this bud roots, adventitious roots arise, and if you cut this node portion and place it in the soil, a new plant will grow. So from a single stem of ginger you can grow so many type of ginger. So the example of rhizome is ginger, turmeric, etc. Children, students, you should keep it in your mind the example of each type of underground stem. Now next is bulb. You see bulb, this is onion. You see that portion of the onion is its stem, this type, this part from where roots arise. This is the stem of an onion, and this scaly leafy peppery part is the leaves. And if we cut the onion, the part which we eat is a fleshy stolen leaves, because food is stored inside the leaves. And if we cut this part and keep it in the soil, a new onion plant will grow. Just like you see garlic and onion are of same family. You see the stem of garlic, this is the stem of garlic, and root arise, and these are the cloves of garlic, and this peppery part is the scale leaves, and this is the shoot. This is the stem. And if we cut this portion and place it in the soil, a new garlic plant will arise. So the example of bulb is onion and garlic. Now the third type is corn. You see corn is also like bulb, but the difference of corn and bulb is bulb has condensed leaves, but bulb has condensed leaves and corn has condensed tissue. This is the main difference. More or less they are morphologically same. Their physical appearance is same. So these are the different types of underground steps through which vegetative propagation occur. Now through subaerial stems. Through subaerial stems. Through subaerial stems. Through subaerial stems. Now the word subaerials means horizontal to the ground and free in the air. Number 1 is sucker, number B is stolon, number C runner, and number D is offset. Number D offset. Now what is sucker? In sucker the plant grows, some of the part grows above the soil and some grows below, and from the below part our stem arise. That stem has axillary, this branch has axillary bud. Now the branch at first grows horizontally to the ground and suddenly it grows obliquely upwards. Okay, this is the example of sucker. Example is chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum mint. These are the example. So what happened in sucker? First, some underground stem which has auxiliary bud grows horizontally. You see, that part grows horizontally, and now suddenly that part grows obliquely upwards. Okay, and new adventitious roots arise, and this part cut off from the parent part and grow into a new plant. This is the example of sucker, chrysanthemum and mint. Now what is stolon? Stolon is just opposite of sucker. Here what happened? Some underground plant part first grows obliquely, and suddenly they grows downward. Okay, that grows downward, and from this downward part adventitious roots occur, and this part cut off from the parent plant and new plants grow. Example is strawberry. Example is strawberry. Okay. Now, fourth part, that is runner. Runner has long internodes. You know internodes? The portion of a stem between two nodes. And from each node, you see first adventitious fibrous root arise and then grows plant part. And if that portion we cut and place new grass, plant will arise. The example of runner is grass, pineapple, etc. And now the last one, that is offset. You see offset in a stagnant water, that is like pond. It's very much seen in Bengal. This is also called terror of Bengal or the scourge of the water bodies, because the offset plant example is water hyacinth. What it does, it drains oxygen from the water. So the water bodies, that is fish or some small insect that live in water will die. So this is called scourge. Scourge means lash. Scourge of the water bodies or terror of Bengal, because Bengalis are very fond of fish, you know, and so if offset destroys or kills the fish, so it is very bad. It will be harmful for finance of Bengal, and it is also harmful for Bengalis because they are very fond of fish. So offset is called terror of Bengal or scourge. Now what is offset? In offset you see a branch of leaves upwards and roots below, and this part is called offset. Okay. Now this part is called offset. When this part cut off, new plant grows from this. The flower of this plant, that is water hyacinth, are very beautiful, but these plants are very harmful for water bodies. Now, next type of vegetative propagation, which occurs through roots. Generally, roots do not contain buds, but the exception is sweet potato. Sweet potato contains buds, and from these buds adventitious roots arise, and if we cut that portion and keep it or place it in the soil, new plants will grow. So the example of roots of vegetative propagation is sweet potato. Now next from leaves. Number 1 is bryophyllum, and another is kalanchoe. What happened here? The bryophyllum and kalanchoe leaves has notches in their margins, and there are adventitious buds in the notches, and from these notches, suppose this is the leaves, and from here new leaf plants grows. Okay, new plants grows, and when these plants grown fully, they are fallen off from the leaves and grow as a new individual. So leaves, example is bryophylla and kalanchoe. Now the last one is bulbils. Bulbils are condensed buds. They can grow anywhere in the plant body. Number 1, if they grow in floral axis, example is agave, or another name of agave is, common name is century plant. Okay, that bulbils fallen off from the parent body and grows into a new individual one. Another example is if they grow in leaf axil. Leaf axil example is wild yam. Okay, suppose what is leaf axil? The angle between the main stem and the branch, this is called axil. Okay, and leaf grows from the axil, and here a bulbil occurs, and that bulb is detached from the parent body and grows into a new individual. So students, I hope all of you have understood vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation is another type of asexual reproduction. It occurs only in plants with the help of buds. Buds are nothing but immature condensed shoot. They can grow anywhere, in underground stem, subaerial stem, in roots, in leaves, and in bulbils. So I hope all of you have enjoyed the video. Okay.